you're there to help them, but then now you're creating things to help you.
Yes.
Increase your bandwidth so you can help them more. And it's just a cycle. Yeah.
That's right.
That's really impressive.
Sometimes it's really hard for me to pay attention. So I'm like, I have to have things as like organized and efficient as possible.
Yeah.
So
spreadsheets and Trello boards and
for sure.
Product, Each day at Wesley Meadows is a new opportunity to serve older adults and reimagine retirement living. It is the heart of their mission that inspires their team to provide the kind of fun atmosphere and care residents would want for themselves. Experience the warm spirit and faith-based difference of Wesley Meadows. Call 662-429-2070 and schedule your visit today. Hello and welcome to the Real Hernando, presented to you by Wesley Meadows, Retirement Community, and SRP Studios, a digital content production agency. This podcast spotlights the Hernando's organizations and community leaders by sharing their stories and what led them to serve this community. The Real Hernando is currently seeking new business sponsors to partner with, too, which would also support the growth of this platform, and in doing so, help create a brighter spotlight for the community we love so much, Hernando, Mississippi. To learn more about becoming a sponsor, click that How To Sponsor link in the description. And you can follow us at therealhernando.com for all channels and social media platforms. I'm your host, Derek, and today we're spotlighting the Community Foundation of Northwest Mississippi. The Community Foundation is an independent, not-for-profit organization founded in 2002 that serves 11 Mississippi counties: Bolivar, Coahoma, DeSoto, LaFleur, Marshall, Panola, Quitman, Sunflower, Tallahatchie, Tate, and Tunica. I was not aware of the Sunflower County.
Yeah. That's where B.B. King's from.
They manage over 300 donor-established funds and have distributed over $35 million to support 835 charitable organizations, activities, and charitable programs established by the Community Foundation itself. For more information, please visit cfnm.org. Helping me with this today, I'm joined with Stacye Trout, the Development Director, and Olivia Dunning, Foundation Support Specialists. Welcome to the show, y'all.
Thank you.
Good to have you, man. There's a lot of numbers I had to read there. Those are large numbers.
Yeah. And actually, you said $35 million. To date, it's now $39 million that we've given out in grants.
Awesome. I know someone that could update your website.
That's right.
No, that's awesome. And we're going to talk about how that's possible and how you make this happen and why you guys do what you do. So before we get into the details of YouTube specifically and your roles, let's talk about the foundation and how it works. So what is it and what is its purpose?
So the Community Foundation, it started in 2002 with a generous grant from the Maddox Foundation. And it initially started as a place to figure out how to get computers into all classrooms in DeSoto County. And from there, we knew with the Community Foundation, it can do so much more than that. We help donors with their charitable causes. We connect them with tax deductions, tax credits, and then in turn, we support nonprofits with grants from those funds with the donors.
Gotcha. So it's a way for donations to be organized and sort of filtered and distributed.
That's right.
Okay. And it all started with laptops for kids?
That's right. Yes, in classrooms.
I mean, where I'm from in Maine, easily 20 years ago, they were starting to talk about it then.
Yeah.
Was that how far back this was starting?
Yeah. So that was, it was before 2002.
Oh, that's
right. So
yeah.
it took a little bit of time and we eventually got it established. And so since 2002, we've expanded to 11 counties in Northwest Mississippi.
One of them being Sunflower.
That's right. That's right. Where B.B. King is from. We have also distributed more than $39 million in grants within our 11 counties. We are closing in on almost $40 million in assets. We have a strategic plan goal to get to $50 million by 2028, which we're going to do so well before then. But we do more than just grants. We have partnerships with other foundations. We connect our nonprofits with resources, volunteer efforts, anything that makes a community better. We try to be that anchor organization for.
So if for example, when I was on your website, right there on your homepage, there's a picture of, AWG donating money because of that tornado that came through here.
Right.
Mayor Johnson was on there and everything. So that was really neat to see. So I just see that as the city needed some aid. But, how does the money get to where it needs to go, and how does that all work? And that's where you all jump in, right? Yeah. So the community foundation came in and helped Hernando figure out a way to get the money to the right places, right?
That's right. Yeah, we are really the first people that everyone calls when an emergency happens. They don't know who to call. They call us, and we can figure out where to send them. But when the tornadoes hit in Rolling Fork, we immediately started a fund, and we had lots of different donors from around the country donate to that fund. And most recently, we have a good relationship with Archie Manning, and he called us up and said, hey, I know their football field was destroyed. I want to make sure we can get them another football field. And so we connected him with a lot of different matching donors, and it was, I think, almost $25,000 we've been able to secure to go down there and put another football field in for Rolling Fork.
So you actually helped find the money.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's another aspect to that. It's one thing for people to come to you, hey, I see what's going on here. I want to give.
Yeah.
How do we make that work? But then you're also proactive.
That's right.
Helping find the funds.
With being proactive when the pandemic hit, we knew we had to get food to those kids that got majority of their meals at school.
And that was a big deal, wasn't it?
Huge
Early
deal.
on, that kept coming up, and it never dawned on me. I'm like, there's a lot of kids that rely on that school lunch.
Yeah. And when we thought, okay, we need maybe $10,000 in all of our counties for 2 weeks. Everyone thought it was 2 weeks. And
oh, how funny is that now?
I know. And the Maddox Foundation stepped up and gave us a very generous match. And that helped snowball all of our donations. And we were getting grants and food to those schools and nonprofits that were really trying to feed the kids. They were sending food on school buses. They were with food pantries. Well, when we were still out after 2 weeks, we realized we've got to get more help for the food pantries and other nonprofits that are now trying to help everyone. They're trying to help the parents that are out of work, that have been laid off of work. Yeah. So
pretty much everyone needs help.
Yeah. And so we started granting to food pantries to also make them state of the art, because we learned a majority of food pantry volunteers were senior citizens. Well, they were getting COVID and passing, or just becoming very sick and not able to work. And they didn't have pallet jacks or loading docks or whatever that may be. And so we were able to get them the equipment they needed and connect them with better resources with USDA food boxes, the Mid-South Food Bank, Mississippi Food Network, Palazola, Extra Table, and really become that center place to help these nonprofits in their communities. And in one and a half years, we were able to grant over $1 million through our feed fund to our 11 counties.
So feed fund, is that where you're getting anonymous donations that sit in escrow kind of, and then they're used when needed, like emergency? Is that what you mean by in feed? Is that what you mean?
Feed fund, it was because we were feeding Northwest Mississippi, starting to feed those kids in the pandemic.
Literally feed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like literal feeding food. But yeah, okay.
That's
that makes
right.
sense. But I guess the question I have is, yes, there's something specific going on that you need to raise for. But in general, are people sending in donations that you bank?
Yes, absolutely. So we have donors that they can open donor-advised funds, and that means they'll open a fund, and it's just what it sounds like, donor-advised. They can choose the nonprofits, schools, churches, or governments they want to grant to, and we hold those funds. We have what's called current giving funds, and that's pass through like charitable checking account funds. You don't earn anything, but you can use it as you need, as many times as you need throughout the year. But our bread and butter, those are the endowments. That's what we are strong at. That's what a community foundation is truly for, those endowments to create sustainability for nonprofits and charitable causes.
Yeah.
And that's where the donor will open up an endowment or for a nonprofit, and we invest with Hardy Reid in Tupelo. And so it invests, and then every year they can, use the interest off of that to do what they need to. And we push those because of the sustainability, and it creates a permanent legacy for the nonprofits and the donors.
Yeah, and it just keeps that steady security to it.
That's right.
And to circle back to when you were talking about dollies and tools and everything, that's community foundation, but that's you're helping their foundation, literally, like the foundation of what they needed. Yeah, money's great. I'm sure they needed food, but really what you need is more pallet jacks.
Yeah.
You need the infrastructure. You need the manpower. And you guys came in with that. So that makes a lot of sense. So, but Olivia, let's get you involved here. So what is your role as the foundation support specialist?
So I do quite a lot of different things helping out around the office. I'm kind of transitioning more into a marketing-based position. So I've been usually the one at the front desk, answering phones, doing things like that. But I am running Facebook, Instagram. I do try and keep up with the website when I'm not running around all crazy but usually what I do is just support the needs of the foundation. So if Stacye needs something, I'm there to take care of it. If our fearless leader, Keith, if he's needing assistance with something, I jump in. So I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. So I do a lot of things and a little of nothing.
There's a lot of value in that, though. To find someone that can touch on all different things like that, that's super
She's
good.
so valuable. She's taken so much off of me because now I'm freed up to meet with donors and meet with nonprofits and raise the money that we need to raise versus sitting there trying to decide, what do I need to design for this marketing piece? Or how are we going to design this philanthropy report that Olivia so graciously designed, and it's fabulous. So that's huge for us.
I mean, organizations, at the end of the day, you have to operate like a business. I mean, you have staff. And so there's that 101 you work on or in.
Yeah.
There's going to be a balance, but if you work too much in, then you're not growing. If you work too much on, then you're not, making the sausage, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not making the thing that you're supposed to be selling.
Yeah. No.
So that sounds like with you coming in, Olivia, and when did this start for you? When did you jump on board?
I started March of 21, I think. So a little over a year and a half, and it's just been fantastic working
Did she
with
pay you to
everyone.
say that? I'm just
She
kidding.
might have. But it's been fantastic.
She might have.
It's been really great working with everyone at the foundation, and it really does feel like I'm making a difference in connecting people who care with causes that matter. A lot of what we do is try and create those lasting legacies with endowments and just making connections with people. And I think that's a big part of what we do, and specifically what I try to do. My background's in public relations, journalism, and I like to be able to inform and let people know what we do through different modes. So we do a lot of press releases, lots of social media posts, and I like to try and make them as eye-catching as possible, especially in today's society. It's so hard to hold anyone's attention.
I wish I could pay you to work for me.
Don't you take her?
Trust me.
That's so true because we've got to have Olivia on staff to keep us in the spotlight and keep us going, because a lot of people know about the community foundation or what a community foundation is. And so she's been able to help us with that, like she said, through the press releases, through the social media, through our website, and even more coming this year. But it also, she has helped us with our fundraiser, our one and only fundraiser for the Community Foundation, which is the Crystal Ball Gala. And that's coming up January 20th, 2024. And so Olivia, she has found us new software to use for that, easier ways for our sponsors to sponsor and ticket holders to get tickets and just
streamlining the system.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's key because you're there to help them, but then now you're creating things to help you.
Yes.
Increase your bandwidth so you can help them more. And it's just a cycle. Yeah.
That's right.
That's really impressive.
Sometimes it's really hard for me to pay attention. So I'm like, I have to have things as like organized and efficient as possible.
Yeah.
So
spreadsheets and Trello boards and
for sure.
Product, But tell me more about the nonprofit volunteer resource center. What does that involve? What does it offer? How does that work?
So it's transitioned over the years, but right now it's a fabulous resource for our nonprofits. We have two ladies that run that, Kara Dulaney and Brenda Smith. They're out of Tunica and Taylor. So they're all over our 11-county region, but they host trainings for nonprofits. We just hosted a fund development training in Charleston, Mississippi for nonprofits to figure out how an endowment can benefit them, how to start an endowment, budget aspects of a grant. They've held trainings for grant writing,
where to find grants.
That's right. Yeah. Where to find grants.
Because you hear the word grant, and we all kind of figure that means getting money.
Yeah.
But how does that work? And from what I do know from people in my circles that write grants, that's no easy task. No. And confusing. So you guys offer the resources to educate them on how to do it even.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They can come in if your nonprofit needs guidance on board development. They can come in and do that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So you guys can help plant an organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, speaking of planning an organization, so many years ago, we helped the Emmett Till Center in Sumner, Mississippi, start their nonprofit, and we gave them their very first grant. And from that, we also connected them with the Meadows Foundation, who has now funded their national traveling exhibit. And they, 2-3 weeks ago, President Biden signed them in as a national monument. So that's pretty awesome. They're in Sumner, Mississippi. They're
protected from everything. Yeah.
And it's going to bring resources to that county. Drive more tourism into that county and that whole area to tell that story that is so vital to the area and to our history. And so that's kind of one of our, I don't want to say pet projects, but it's a very near and dear to our heart project that we helped start and get off the ground.
Yeah, they're actually going to be in Memphis for is it the last leg of the tour?
Yeah, I think so.
October? I don't know the specific date, but they'll be in Memphis at the
Civil Rights Museum.
Yeah, Civil Rights Museum for that.
There you go. Mm-hmm. It's interesting how community connects.
Yeah.
One thing can spark to that next layer, to the next layer. And, all the work it took to make that national, what would you call it?
Monument.
Yeah. So then that's helping business because of the tourism, and it just trickles through everything, doesn't it?
Yes. And another project that has really stemmed into something huge, because sometimes with our grants, we may not be able to fund $1 million project or a $100,000 project, but we can give a starter grant that will feed into something larger. Mm-hmm. So, for example, 12 years ago, a graduate student at Ole Miss was doing a health assessment in Charleston, Mississippi. And at the time, Charleston sits in Tallahatchie County. They were number 81 out of 82 unhealthiest counties in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And then Mississippi is always ranked at the bottom, so they were pretty unhealthy.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So she did a health needs assessment in that town. And we helped grant that needs assessment. And from there, it piqued the interest of Jim Kennedy with Cox Communications. He has duck hunting land in Tallahatchie County. And he has ended up funding almost maybe more than $5 million for a wellness center in Charleston, Mississippi. It connects to the hospital. It has a community playground, has an almost 2-mile state-of-the-art walking trail. They have partnered with the local clinic to provide a food as medicine prescription program. So when patients go into their clinic, instead of prescribing them pills or something they really don't need, they send them over to the community garden at the wellness center, and the garden manager works with them to figure out what they need. They help them harvest. They help them figure out how to cook it. And they've got tons of different health programs, free classes. It has been absolutely amazing for that county. They reach out to both sides of the county because there's a west side and an east side, as they say. But right now, their county health ranking is sitting, I think, at 51, 53, which is drastic compared to where they were sitting at 81.
There are good people out there. Yeah. It's easy to forget the way the world is so crazy, but it just takes someone's generosity to make all of that happen. One little spark turns into a forest fire.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's what we like to do at the Community Foundation. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how we can build upon the communities and nonprofits.
Gustafson Properties. Gustafson Properties has been building beautiful custom homes in DeSoto County and surrounding areas for over 20 years. Are you ready to build your new custom home? Call us today at 662-449-6271.
5M Services, your comfort specialists. We offer heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service. Call us for any of your HVAC needs. 662-560-7331. We are here for you 24/7.
Team Couch of Birch Realty Group is a full-service team of realtors specializing in real estate sales. With over 900 transactions alone in the past 5 years, their experience is your best asset. Go to teamcouch.com or call 662-449-1700.
So you mentioned that one event, the big event you do. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's promote that, because by the time this airs, it will be before January.
Uh-huh.
So even though the production timeline's weird with podcasting, we can promote it. Okay, and because sometimes we promote something, but by the time the episode publishes, it's in the past.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Tell us more. What's the name again? What is it about? How does it work?
It's the Crystal Ball Gala, and this will be the 24th annual that we've held. It'll be at the arena at South Haven. And it's about a 1,200 person black tie event. It brings out many people from all over, I say even the country. People come in for it. We honor a Man of the Year, Woman of the Year, Business of the Year, and Nonprofit of the Year as our community stars. And then we have what we call a Star of Hope. And that is somebody that has
made a big impact philanthropically in this, not even just in the state of Mississippi, but typically in Mississippi.
So, for instance, it's been Morgan Freeman, Celia Ward, Marty Stewart. We've had B.B. King, Charlie Pride. Mm-hmm. We haven't announced this year's yet.
Last year we had...
right now, the mics are on.
I'm not saying anything. Last year we did have Aaron and Ben Napier from HGTV's Hometowns.
And they were there at the event, so that created a lot of good energy at the gala. I mean, everybody wanted to meet them, and they were phenomenal with that. They were very gracious to in fact, I went to go get Ben and Aaron to come up on stage, and I had to wait in a line because so many people, had their mama or their cousin or their brother on FaceTime, wanting to FaceTime with them, and they just... they barely ate. They just let people do that. And that was really, really nice of them.
So how do you find the Woman of the Year, the Man of the Year? Like, what's let's just say it is Mississippi. How do you find the best woman in Mississippi in the categories of the best man? Like, do people have to be nominated from a different board? Is there a committee searching, nominating it down, dwindling it down? How does that work?
So we have a committee who will choose out of nominations that we've received, and they're available on our website. If you go to the Crystal Ball page, we have a page for our community stars. So the Man of the Year, Woman of the Year, Business, and Nonprofit of the Year, they're all from one of our 11 counties. They have to be nominated. And
who nominates?
Anyone can nominate.
Someone just basically like, hey, I'm throwing this name in the hat.
Yes. Now, we do have like a form and everything.
Yeah, I think that's a reason.
There's not a real hat? You don't have a real hat?
We do.
We'll do that for you.
That's why I won't win. That hat will just be put to the side. No, but okay, continue. So.
Yeah, so we have a selection committee who chooses, and that's about it. But we've had some really great people.
Yeah, last year was Shalisa Presley, and she runs the diaper bank of the Mississippi Delta. Even though it says Mississippi Delta, she covers all 82 counties of Mississippi, and we actually helped start her nonprofit with Baby University, and then from there it stemmed to the diaper bank. And she goes around whatever school, nonprofit entity, community that needs a diaper drive, and she gives out free diapers, feminine hygiene products. She, during the pandemic, tried to help give out food. She'll give out free books to those kids. She is an amazing woman.
Truly like Wonder Woman.
Yes, and she works all the time for free. But anytime anyone needs her, she did a huge distribution with Brown Baptist Church up in South Haven. Some of our board members were out there helping her with that, but she is all over the state. And our nonprofit of the year last year was actually the Emmett Till Center. So that was really nice to recognize them, especially going into their traveling exhibit.
So what do they do again? What was
So they educate about Emmett Till and his story down in Sumner and Tallahatchie and Lafleur County, and try to get that educational component out there and the truth out there about what happened with Emmett Till and how all of that came to be, and how that story has shaped all of us since then.
And it's important that, we put the right information out there.
Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to decipher.
That's right.
So let's talk about how people can volunteer. We've talked about grants and how people can donate and everything. But everyone needs volunteers. And you were just mentioning about this lady here that she's like, she does it for free. Organizations need that. So what kind of volunteer program? Do you have programs that have involve volunteers, or is it just a place that people on the website they can go to and offer their help? How does that work?
Well, obviously all of our nonprofits, most of them need volunteers. Like, again, I was thinking Miss Linda with Coats for Kids. She covers all 82 counties, and she provides coats in the winter for kids. She goes to the schools. She goes into the hospitals to provide blankets and onesies for babies. Okay. She goes into nursing homes to provide coats and gloves and blankets for the elderly.
So you, as the community foundation, work, not to make this business, but let's pretend that's a vendor. You're connecting the vendor to the need or something, right?
Yeah, so we don't specifically find the volunteers for every organization because we work with over 800, so that would be almost impossible for our small staff.
You would need a few more Olivias.
That's right. That's right. But we do, if we get a donor saying, hey, I want to volunteer here, we already know off the top of our head some of the nonprofits, or we can kind of send an email out, send a release out to say, who needs volunteers for this day? Or we connect churches with volunteer opportunities on a case-by-case basis.
Does Community Foundation directly ever need volunteers?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what we're talking about.
So, the Crystal Ball.
Yes. We are actually going to have like our first nonprofit, or not nonprofit, we've been talking about those, volunteer night for Crystal Ball in a couple weeks.
Actually, next week.
Oh gosh, it is next week. Oh my goodness. It's, I don't know where time has gone, but it is next week. We're going to be holding like our first day with our volunteers to kind of talk about what our needs are for Crystal Ball and what the plan is. We're going to have our chairs, Scott Hollis and Rayanne Hollis. Well, Rayanne's our decor chair. She's kind of heading it for decor. And we're going to talk about what the plan is, what we're going to need volunteers for. So things like finding auction items. So if anyone has really great auction items, I'm going to plug that right now. We're looking for maybe more experience type things rather than items. We would love to hear from you. Things for sponsorships, people who to go out and find businesses to sponsor for Crystal Ball, which if you go to crystalballgala.org, our sponsorships are available for purchase right now. And different levels get you different benefits. Decor, obviously, registration, things of that nature.
Well,
It's literally people helping move tables.
That's, So
yeah.
the week of and even the night of, we always need volunteers to, like you said, help set up, help break down. We need people in registration. We need people in coat check. We need people in our VIP area. We need people backstage helping our band, making sure they've got what they need. Lots of different areas. The photo booths. We need volunteers to run our photo booths.
Yeah.
Lots of different areas. And then this year is something new. Our higher level sponsorships, $10,000 and up, if they want, they can receive a concierge who will help them with whatever they need. And so we're looking for really good, personable, reliable volunteers to do that.
Yeah, they're representing foundations.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've actually said what our theme is yet,
Oh, we haven't.
which I'm very excited about. It is shaken, not stirred. So martinis, cocktails, fun things, very black tie.
Olivia lit up on this.
Yeah.
So is it a situation where you're do you buy yourself in to, like, you need to pay a ticket to
That's
join,
right. That's right. So right now we're only selling sponsorships until November. And then if we haven't sold everything out with sponsorships like we did a couple years ago, then we will open up individual tickets and table sales.
Okay, but only until you get all the. You mentioned something about sponsors.
Yeah, we try to make sure all of our sponsors are taken care of before we open our individual tickets and table sales.
Yeah, because the sponsors get tables.
That's right.
Part of the
Yeah.
deal. I would gather closer to the martinis.
Yeah.
Is that part of the deal?
Yeah, that's why we have the concierges, so they can go grab the martinis for those 10,000 and up sponsors.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to move. Someone just goes and does it for them.
And that's how the tier system works. It's a business sponsoring whatever. It's just like, if you want to join, we have a level here so anyone can get involved. But and so that's awesome to hear. And it sounds exciting. And I think I remember seeing, pictures of last year's, and once I started, because I've only lived here a few years now, and it's definitely a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And while the arena is a very massive space, there are only so many people we can pack in there.
Yeah.
So what we've also done is taken our auction. Well, we still have a live auction at the event. We have taken what we used to have a silent auction and put that online. And so people at the event can still bid on those items, but if you can't come to the event or you live somewhere else, you can also bid.
That opens it up.
Yeah, it really does.
We had a lot of our winners for auction items for the online one. They were actually just online auctioneers.
The guy that talks fast. So do you hire a professional auctioneer?
We do.
Those guys are trips.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't either. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Briefly, I had to go to an auto auction place.
Yeah.
For a job I had years ago. You're just walking through there and like, how How can he do that? And how can anyone keep up with it?
I don't know. My husband has banned me from bidding because I can't keep up, so I bid against myself. And he's like, you can't do that anymore.
You just raised it for no reason. 300, 400.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, wait up. That's interesting. Well, in closing, please, I'll give you the floor if we're missing anything that you feel is something that we haven't touched on that's super important. Is there anything? I know there's so much.
I know there is so much that we do, and I know we're missing something. But what we tell people is, come to us for your nonprofit needs, your charitable cause. If you don't know, we do a lot of legacy planning, estate planning. We can help with all of those needs, connecting you with those tax deductions, those tax credits, and helping you create that legacy that you can leave. That's what we want people to take away from us. But if you're searching for something in the nonprofit world and you're not quite sure where to go, just call us and let us guide you. It may not be with us, but we can at least connect you where you need to be.
It's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Work with professionals that do this for a living. So that's great. Well, look, again, for more information, go to cfnm.org. I want to make sure I pronounce those letters, N and M. So great. Before we say goodbye here, let's talk to the audience for a little bit.
Okay.
All right, because we got to challenge them because they need to help support you guys by helping support this podcast. So if you could go to therealhernando.com, patronize the website, please. Subscribe to it. That will give you a notification when a new episode is dropped. There you can find our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube links. We're everywhere. These two ladies are going to be on TikTok. How about that, right? Also, I want to thank my sponsors. So we got Wesley Meadows, Gustafson Properties, 5M Services, Team Couch of Birch Realty, Wild Culture Sourdough, the DeSoto Arts Council, Brandon Vandenberg from Shelter Insurance, and Boba Cream. This is all possible because of you. And now, thanks to you, the Community Foundation is getting some nice spotlight here. So, and I think they really enjoyed being on the podcast, too.
That's right.
It's a neat experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to plug one more thing.
Go for it. Go.
So this year, we did a tour of our 11 counties. And that was putting on donor and nonprofit receptions. And that simply means we weren't asking anything of people, but we haven't done it in so long, especially since COVID. Mm-hmm. We wanted to get our donors together to thank them, to welcome new ones, and then connect our nonprofits with them. So our DeSoto donor and nonprofit reception is October 24th from 5 to 6:30 at the courtyard behind the Community Foundation off of Panola Street. So if you are a donor, an interested donor, a nonprofit, call us at the office. Let us know you're coming, and we would love to have you join us.
What's the phone number?
662-449-5002.
All right.
And since 2002, we've been able to grant over $11.5 million just to DeSoto County. So we should have a big crowd because we want to make sure everyone's connected, and we want to be able to give more.
DeSoto's great.
Yeah.
Good county. And Hernando, this location is strong too.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to support. As you just heard, all the wonderful sponsors
That's right.
I listed off, they're all Hernando based, right? But again, thank you for all that. Thank you for coming and doing this. I hope this spreads the message and the awareness out to different areas that maybe not being hit right now. We got to get Olivia on TikTok now. You've said Instagram and Facebook.
I know. We have a running joke in the office. So I started there when I was in my late 20s, and our former president, he would just give me anything and everything that had to do with technology. And I'm like, I'm not a tech guru. And he's like, oh, you're under 30. Well, now I'm well over 30. And I just do that with Olivia. I'm like, she's our under 30 crew.
There you go.
So she's got it.
Whether you want it or not. That's right. Yeah, if I need a lesson on Snapchat, my 15-year-old will have my back, But, well, again, thank you again. And one more time, that website is I don't have it in front of me, cfnm.org.
That's right.
And to those watching and listening, I appreciate you hanging around here, and you have a great day.